By many measures, Chamath Palihapitiya is a very successful person. If you listen to him closely, you will quickly find that he is a mental models machine. One model that he uses a lot is abstraction.
Essentially what they do is they'll abstract away a lot of the complexity, abstract away.
So today let's look at abstraction in greater detail and try to understand what Chamath is talking about. Abstraction is one of those concepts that everyone understands intuitively, but we just don't always see it. Let's look at the screen to see an example. What do you see? On the left you probably see a drawing of a girl, and on the right you see a word, a girl. Notice that our understanding of what was going on the screen happened automatically. We did not really have to think about it, but there is a lot going on between the screen and our brain. If we think about it, the only thing that we see on the screen are pixels. They form collections of pixels or shapes. The shapes on the left form a drawing, and on the right they form letters that in turn form the word a girl. The drawing and the word form a concept of a girl in our head. I say a concept because we automatically know that neither the drawing nor the word is an actual concrete girl. What happened is that we all just performed abstract thinking. We ignored the details of where each individual pixel was and all the intermediate steps, all the way to grasp the concepts, ideas, information presented, in this case, to the concept of a girl. In other words, we moved on a scale from concrete to abstract thinking. So far so good, but we all kind of know that. So how is this really useful and why is that important? In a word, problem solving, or in two words, problem solving. Let's look at a silly example first. Let's imagine that you are a farmer living on an island on a river. Every day you take what you produce to a town market by boat. You sell what you have and buy some products for yourself, including a barrel of rum. You do that every day for some time, minding your own business. One day, however, you come to the shore and your boat is missing. You still need to keep buying the stuff in the market, otherwise you won't survive for long. What do you do? If you get stuck in a concrete thinking mode, you won't get too far. You may be thinking that people cross rivers in boats. But if we think about it a little bit more abstractly, we can figure out that a boat is just a thing that floats. You can take it further and think about it as abstractly as you like. For example, there is nothing special about rivers, so you can replace a river with a body of water, and so on. But for us, crossing a river in the thing that floats will be enough to solve this problem. All the drinking paid off, and our farmer can build a raft from all the empty barrels, and the day is saved. Moving to more serious examples, this type of abstract thinking can help you at school and later in life. For example, many schools and companies like to test your abstract reasoning abilities with some kind of IQ tests. Those typically would show you some free pictures and ask you what the next picture should be. Again, if we are stuck in our concrete thinking mode, all we would see is perhaps three totally unrelated pictures. But if we move up the scale of abstract thinking a bit, maybe we'll notice that all the pictures are connected. How are they connected? Let's see. There is this line in the upper left corner of the picture on the left. In the center picture, it is pointing upwards. And it moves clockwise in the picture on the right. I am the biggest mythologist after all, but even I think I know what is going on. With each picture, the line moves clockwise, so the next picture should probably look something like this. What we did is that we just performed some simple pattern recognition. That is, we noticed a pattern and we were able to use it to tell what is going to happen next. Now, can we handle this more complicated example? Some of the most successful people are really good at moving on this concrete, abstract scale when they work. By the way, note that both concrete and abstract thinking are important, and we will discuss concrete thinking at some point later on. Abstract thinking allows successful people to spot patterns, just as we did with the IQ test, and use that to solve their problems. If you have time, feel free to rewatch the previous video and see if now it will be easier to notice the mental models in the examples and why they might be useful. Lastly, let's have a look at an example of abstract thinking in business. Enter Chamath. In the intro we mentioned that he thinks about different levels of abstraction a lot. Here is a transcript of a speech he gave that explains how he uses abstraction in greater detail. If I tried to lift this entire table, I couldn't do it. I don't have the physical strength. If I tried to build this building, I could not do it. I don't have the physical strength. And so we invented machines, and all of a sudden, what did it abstract away? It abstracted away our bodies, because our bodies were a limited resource. And now, these machines could do the work of millions or hundreds of millions of humans, but operated by a few humans. And then, most importantly, what's happened is that we have now done what was probably several hundred of years ago unthinkable. We've started the process of abstracting our brains. If you think about it, now we are at the point in time where the most precious, scarce resource is our brain power. And we have realized now that if we actually take just the smartphones in this aisle, there's more computing power in these 7 phones than in the collective capability of all of our human minds. So then now imagine what it's like if we took all of the phones in this room and put them together. So this process of abstracting problems has been happening for centuries. But because now we have started to really abstract our mental capability, the ability to think and calculate things and perform tasks, the evolution is happening very quickly. Notice how smoothly he seems to be moving between concrete and abstract scale. In between the lines, he basically gives us an algorithm for becoming an entrepreneur. Find something that's difficult, or find a scarce resource, build a solution, abstract it away, make it abundant, sell it. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to steal this mental model from him. It sounds really useful. That was a lot of talk about abstraction for one video. Next, we'll introduce a few more things that will help us with creating our own models.